Hello, I'm Dow Bartling, and I certainly hope that you and yours are having yourself that brighter summer day. You know, the older I am, the more that I think. And I think that my exercise routine isn't at all what it used to be. I don't run near as much as I used to. Do a lot more walking. And my definition of weightlifting is standing up. And indeed, my routine has changed. And also, maybe the equipment that I use. You see, it's no longer what's the newest running shoe. It's what's the latest walking shoe. In fact, let me recommend to you this type of walking shoe. I highly recommend it. Now you may say, Dow, why are they special? Well, I'm glad you asked. Because these walking shoes have memory insoles. Yes, they do. Memory insoles. Why? You know, now, when I go into a room, I remember why I went into the room. Memory insoles. Be sure to get them. The older I am, the more that I think. And I think there's one particular state that really had an effect on my life and my family's. That is the state of Iowa. LaDonna, my wife, she was born in Sioux City, Iowa. Our son Justin Paul was born in Des Moines, Iowa, the state capital. Now, some would say Iowa stands for idiots out wandering around. But others, and I kind of think more on this vein, would say that the quote in the movie A Field of Dreams, in one particular part, there's a saying that says, is this heaven? No, it's Iowa. It's Iowa. Now, we're lucky enough that we lived in Iowa, about maybe close to 4 years, I would say. And here are some special things that I remember. Iowa. Iowa was the first place that my son Justin got his first drum set. I don't think, maybe he was 3, 4 years old. He got his first drum set there in Iowa. Our new home after the tornado, it had a fireplace. I was introduced to getting firewood. It was in Iowa that I was introduced, in LaDonna too, and this was before Justin was born, to an exercise spa. Now, I'm not speaking of like the local YMCA, which later we joined. But I'm speaking of, this was called the European Health Spa. They had all the drinks that you would want and all kinds of things. And one thing that sticks in this old mind was they had an ice pool. I would go down and go into that ice pool. I would go to the edge, turn around, and come back out. That was the length of time that this little Panamanian could stay in the ice pool. Oh, Lord, it was cold. It was cold. You know, in Iowa, you can have an excuse, and it can be very much a legitimate excuse, that, hey, I am so sorry that I was late. I got behind a tractor. Oh, yeah, you can get behind a tractor, and in no time at all, there are quite a few cars behind that tractor. And everyone in Iowa knows when you say, I'm going south with the family for vacation. They know that you're going down to Missouri, to worlds of fun, oceans of fun, and maybe even take in a Royals game. I'm going south with the family for a vacation. It's in Iowa that I was introduced to a particular food element, and it was this. They were called Maid-Rites. Oh man, they are juicy, and you just can't have one, and you got to watch the corner of your mouth because it's going to get a little juicy right there. Maid-Rites. Maderite. Maid-Rites. They are delicious, folks. They are delicious. And in the state of Iowa, there's no particular river, kind of like South Dakota, where it divides east and west, but there is an east and west. You see, the western part of the state, that seems to be primarily Iowa State Cyclone fans. Where the eastern part of the state, they are Iowa Hawkeye fans. Yes, they are. For us, we were Iowa Hawkeye fans for basketball, watching Bobby Hansen, who later played for, I think it was Chicago Bulls, and then wrestling, Dan Gables, Olympic gold medal winner there. For football, it was the Iowa Cyclones, except when they played Nebraska. Then we got our red on, and we were, of course, loyal Nebraska fans there. But there seemed to be a definite dividing line there. And it seems to me, only in Iowa, at least to this old mind, that there was a particular bug in Iowa, that there was plenty of them. And in fact, in Nebraska, we would call them box elder bugs. But in Iowa, they would call them Democrats. Oh, plenty of Democrats all over the place. Another kind of strange thing is they didn't call it Halloween. They called it Beggar's Night. Beggar's Night instead of Halloween. Some different things there. And it wasn't unlikely at all. It wasn't in fact, it was a very common thing sometimes that when you would go to a family gathering or say a graduation or something like this, it would be in a church basement. Common meeting place, the church basement. And in Iowa, some people will say it's going to be their weekly chore. They're going to have to wash their clothes. Wash their clothes. Mm-hmm. And I firmly believe that there exists a certain philosophy that carries over from generation to generation in Iowa. It's called Iowa Nice. And LaDonna and Justin and I were indeed beneficiaries to Iowa Nice. Let me tell you and share with you some samples of Iowa Nice that happened to us. When we first moved there to Iowa, before Justin was born, LaDonna found employment and worked at the Farm Bureau Insurance Company, the home office in West Des Moines there, Iowa. Well, LaDonna wasn't there 1 week with Farm Bureau when a lady came up to her, the name of Lorraine. And Lorraine says, LaDonna, can I ask you a question? Yeah. Are you a Lutheran? And LaDonna said, yes, we are. She said, I thought I could tell that you were a Lutheran. Now, I don't know if it was because, we said a certain grace or what it was, but Lorraine picked up on it. Well, she invited us to their church. Now, Bill and Lorraine and their kids went to a country church in Van Meter, Iowa. A little country church, brick country church, stained glass windows with family names on the windows themselves, and the parsonage on one side, and the other side of the church then was the family cemetery. Well, that church made us feel so much at home. When Justin was born, that's where he became baptized. And Bill and Lorraine, more or less, adopted us. And all their relatives, their cousins and uncles and aunts and so forth. And what a terrific thing to be adopted by all these farm families in a little Iowa town. Iowa Nice. Iowa Nice. I love to play softball. And I left my team in Nebraska. It's kind of hard to do. In fact, the short time that we lived, the first week, I think that we lived in Iowa, I went back to a softball tournament in Nebraska. Kind of loyal to going to the state tournament there. But I love to play softball from the baseball days. Well, one of the associates there, I called her Zinger. Her last name was Light Zinger. I abbreviated, called her Zinger. She was quite a little athlete, and she liked to play baseball. This same young lady encouraged me to start playing softball. And in fact, LaDonna and Justin kind of at the time, they become a softball widow, LaDonna did. I played for, 3 softball teams at the same time. Not the wisest thing to do, folks, believe me. Not the wisest thing to do. But one of the teams that we'd be playing would be Zinger's team. And that was definitely fun. So, on a social basis there, Iowa Nice by Zinger. Iowa Nice. Our home was destroyed by a tornado. And that tornado was so devastating that later it was declared a national disaster area. It hit such a big area there. Well, we were definitely without a home. And within 2 days of that, an associate came by the name of D. Anderson. D. Anderson and his wife, Bertha. They came to us and said, we're going on a family vacation for a month. We'd like you to house sit our house. And it's open and you just do whatever you do, just like that's family. And that's what they treated us like, was family. They opened their home when we were homeless to use their house. That's Iowa Nice. As I said, our home was totally destroyed by a tornado. And the very next day, folks, the next sunrise, who was there but those church members from that little country church? They were there with their pickups and their other equipment there to help clean up. Excellent example of Iowa Nice. So the older I am, the more that I think, and I think indeed it was the workings of providence that brought LaDonna and I, the state that she was born, the state that our son Justin Paul would be born, to the state of Iowa. Is this heaven? No. It's Iowa. And so, until we talk again, you and yours, please take care of yourselves. Because know this, I'm rooting for you. Because we're in this together. Take care.